If you have ADHD, then you know what it's like to have people you want to see, places you want to go, things that you want to do, and you can't do any of it. At the end of the day, you just feel completely exhausted and you don't even know why. Well, one of the reasons might be because of ADHD masking. And I want to talk a little bit today about what that is, why it happens, and what you can do to treat it. So masking is when you literally put on a mask, you put on a persona just to fit in the world, just so you can get by without being judged. This can manifest itself by suppressing stims, mimicking other people's behaviors, forcing eye contact. I know for me, I've definitely done this by taking on too much work to seem super competent, because I know that I'm not, and sometimes I can be all over the place. So that's sort of my way for compensating. Sometimes it comes out as a way for us to sort of hide our guilt for having ADHD. We find ways to just hide it so that people don't judge us. If you've ever been in a meeting or a class and you find yourself pretending to take notes just so it seems like you're focusing, that is definitely an example of masking. Why does masking happen? One of the reasons is because society rewards what it sees as normal behavior. There's many situations in which the situation is itself is just built for people who seem normal, who act normal, who aren't more eccentric, who aren't more creative like people with ADHD. So if you have ADHD, you mask just to fit in at school, at work, in social situations. It helps you get by. And the other reason is something I talked about just a few minutes ago. It's guilt. It's the guilt and shame that comes with the times when you are noticed, when people do see that you're different, and you feel the guilt for that. You remember their judgment, and that gets internalized, and you feel the guilt, and it forces you to change who you are just to fit in society, just to get by without attracting too much attention. This is what leads to the exhaustion and the burnout that is just so prevalent in ADHD. I know that I feel this myself at times when there's things that I want to do, there's people I want to see, hobbies I want to pursue, but at the end of the day, I am just completely exhausted and can't do any of those things. How to start unmasking? So the first thing to do is figure out how you're masking. How is this affecting you in your everyday life, in your job, in your school situation, in your social situations? I'm going to put a long list on screen of many different ways, many common ways in which people mask, because you might not even realize the different ways in which you're doing this in your everyday life. And sometimes when you see the list, it becomes more evident to you how much this is actually affecting you. Step 2 is start to find people and places where you can safely unmask. Friends that understand, friends that may also be neurodivergent. You can talk to them completely unfiltered. You don't have to make eye contact. You don't have to hide your stims. You can both truly be yourself together and get a lot out of that social interaction without having to pretend to be someone else. Step 3 is advocate for your needs. Figure out small ways in which you can make accommodations for yourself and start to do them. So for example, if you have to work in a noisy room, say to your boss, say to your teacher, say to your parents, say to whoever is relevant at the moment that you work better with noise canceling headphones, and see if you can do that. See if you can maybe move to a quieter room. I know that not all situations are going to be welcoming of this. You can't advocate for yourself in all places, but in the places where you can with the people who will accept it, do it. Just make your life easier, even in the small ways that you can. Step number 3, start to advocate for your needs. Now, you can't do this in all situations with all people, but with many people you can. You'd be surprised if you're just honest with yourself and other people about what you actually need. So for example, say you're forced to work in a noisy environment. There's just nowhere else to go. Ask if you can wear noise-canceling headphones. Little things like that will go a long way. And now I know that not everyone is accepting of these things, but many people are. So just give it a try and see if you can start to make little improvements in your life that help you start to be more productive and more comfortable in your ADHD. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. This is a small channel, so if you subscribe and you like and you leave a comment, it'll seriously go a long way. I make a lot of videos about ADHD, self-improvement, self-development, and I have a whole playlist about all self-development content. You might like it. It might help you out. I'll put it on the screen right now. Give it a watch if you're interested.